Alright, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this carburetor out. Um, First thing you want to do, guys, is just get your saw looking like this. Just take the bar and chain off, the clutch cover, and then take the top off and the air filter cover off. Expose the whole top like this. It's just going to make it a lot easier. Then we're going to take this fuel line off. I'll reuse that too. Just pinch it off. Save that because I'm going to reuse it. And then squeeze your cotter pin nice and easy so you can reuse it. These are a pain in the ass, but you do that, just pop the choke out. You don't even have to take the cotter pin all the way out. Just get it off the carb. Back it out like that. That's it. And then you're going to unscrew this, your idle screw here. I hope you can see this idle screw. Just you're going to take that all the way out. And it's usually got a little spring on it. Mine in there kind of tight. Let me see. I'll turn the saw around. Make it easier. Actually, mine's kind of worn out too, so I'm going to replace this idle screw as well. I have another one I'm going to put in there. But yeah, it's just those. Detach the choke lever, and then you're going to take the this idle screw, and then the next thing is pretty easy. It can be time consuming because it's a really tight space to work in. Now back that idle screw out. See how it's got like a spring on it as well. Save that. Okay, now the next thing to do to get it out is these two bolts in the back. You got one here and you got one down there. You work these out and then we'll go from there. You're gonna need this is what I use. I use a 5/16 and a size 8 to get it going. 5/16 on there. Once you crack them loose too, this is the one that's kind of a pain in the ass because it's in a really tight spot. So you got to kind of just work with it. I'll show you guys some tricks I use. You get it loose and then you can back it out with a screwdriver. Pop that off. And then here's one of those tricks I was talking about. I'll stick a flathead screwdriver in the slot like this and kind of pry, you see, get it started. And you can kind of get a screwdriver in there like that sometimes, you know. But the reason I use the size 8 is because in these tight spaces like this, you use the back end of it to kind of grab on it and do like this. And then once it's loose enough, then you can get your, where's that smaller, you get a small flathead and kind of just back it out. It's a pain in the ass, but it'll do the job. Like this. Yeah. This is the only part that's kind of time consuming here, is this one bolt. Getting it in the same is, you know, getting it in is kind of annoying too. Come on, baby. Let's see if I can work it out with my fingers. Yeah, there we go.
Dad, can we go to the pool today?
Not right now, baby.
Why?
Because Daddy's making a video right now, and it's getting late, and you have school tomorrow, first day of school, so you got to get in the shower and stuff. All right, so now we got that out too. Those two bolts are out. Now what you guys are going to want to do is you're going to take a flathead screwdriver, and right here along the intake, you're going to get your screwdriver in there and kind of just pry it. And on the inside, I don't know if you can see it, see that the reed is in here? You want to pry that reed like this into the intake, like that. The reed will stay inside of the intake for you to take the carb out. Just kind of slide your screwdriver behind it, kind of play with it, just like that. Now what you're going to do is, because your throttle linkage is still together, let me see if I can get you a better angle. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to slide the jets out like this. See how they're sliding outward? Slide the jets out and then put your carb upward like this. Put your finger on the throttle linkage and push it out of that little butterfly like this. Just like that, and then you turn it and it comes right out. Boom, there's your carb. That's how it comes out. And then you got your reed in here. Take your reed valve out. And there you have it. Now, you're done with the power head for now. Now we're going to do the carb rebuild. So, with the carb kit, they come with a little bit more than this. The only thing in the carb kit that you're not going to use is the little metal circle things. Here, actually, really quick, let's take this carb apart first. I'll show you. Take this out of the intake. Now, if you buy the gasket, the intake gasket that goes on the back of the carb, and then the one that goes here, and you want to replace that, this is a good opportunity to do that since it's apart. But first things first, let's take this carb apart. Anyway, yeah, real quick. This is all you're going to use out of the kit, okay? You're going to use the diaphragm, the gasket, the hinge and rod, a new spring, and the needle. And on the top, all you're going to need is these two gaskets here and this filter, little screen. It comes with a few different filters, but this is the only one you're going to really need to use right here. So let's get this thing taken apart. Hopefully the video's still going. Check. Yep, she's going. We're making good time here. And I'm going to show you all how to clean it and all that. Save all your screws. Yeah, see, you know what's funny? So the guy that I bought this saw off of, he actually already rebuilt this carb. This carb has got a brand new kit in it. It's in good shape. But that's okay. We're gonna... Lord knows why he done that. It's got two of them. He never took this off. It ain't gonna hurt it, but... Yes, anyway, you're gonna take these out. Your old gaskets, you want them out. Wow, yeah, this is still very good shape, but that's okay. Alright, you're gonna take those out, and then right inside of here, that's where that little screen filter is. I don't know if you can see that right in there. That's where that little round screen goes. I'm gonna replace mine too, so we're gonna go in there with some pliers or a toothpick or something. They're kind of a pain in the ass to get out, but we kind of dig it out like that. And I can see it's not that bad. We'll save that. Alright, now once we got that, you got the whole top part of the carb gutted. You're gonna flip it on upside down like this. Actually, I'm gonna put this stuff over here because, like I said, I'm probably gonna reuse some of that because there ain't nothing wrong with this stuff. This gasket too. Pull that off the top. Yeah, and also too, y'all, you don't need that. That was incorrect. What was actually in there? There was 3 gaskets in there. That's incorrect. You only need the 2. But I did not do that to this carb. The guy that had it before me did. So that's what you want right there. Flip it over. Now we're going to take the diaphragm apart. This is a little bit more tricky because it's so small, but show you. Man, I hope I'm in range of the camera. You guys can see what I'm doing. Take the bottom off. These 4 screws. That's it, y'all. There's 4 screws on top, 4 screws on the bottom. Yeah, the guy that had this before me took very good care of this saw. And he cut with it a lot. And alright, so you got the screws out. You're going to pop this bottom part off like that. I kind of just ripped the diaphragm out, but we're going to replace all that anyway. So yeah, so as you can see, this diaphragm's in good shape. But this is the actual diaphragm. You see how it's still pliable and really soft? That's what you want. Okay? That's a really good diaphragm. The way you know it's bad is when you go and you take it out and this is literally as stiff as a board. You know, when it's real stiff like that. I've had them where they're like this and you go like this and they just crumble in pieces. You don't want that. But I'll reuse that. It's not bad. And then this gasket right here. Sometimes these stick to the carb and you gotta peel them up carefully because they'll tear and then you'll have chunks of it stuck to the carb. You don't want that. Yeah, see, like this one here. You can, you know, see there's some gas in there. See, there's your diaphragm needle. Mine's like stuck looking. But I'm going to fix all that. We're going to replace it and get it going good. I wonder why it's like that. That's strange, actually. Never had it like that before. Okay, so what I do when it's stuck like that, y'all, I take me a razor blade, kind of work it off.
Welcome, brother. It's a dog. Those
Just
jars
like that.
out in the woods, they all been broken. All of them? So I guess that's it for yourself. It's a miracle. We're saved. The darkness lifted.
So that we're not going to reuse.
Broke the charm. The spirits set loose. We're doomed then? Hold on. You said the charms.
So you get as much of it off as you can. Now, if there's still a little bit left on there, it's okay. Just make sure it's not like big chunks, you know, because then it's going to mess with the seal when you put the gasket on. Alright. Peel that off. Okay. Now, you'll see your carb kit is going to come with 2 replacement pieces for that big one and that small one. Don't take these out. You don't need to do that at all. You'll mess with the, you know, the seal. You don't want that. So look, inside of here where your diaphragm is, this little screw right here, you're going to unscrew that. Loosen that. And what that's going to do is that's going to lift this hinge up. Okay? You see how there's like a hinge? There's a hinge with a spring that's attached to a needle. What you're going to do is you're just going to grab this and you're going to pull it out like this. And I'll try to show you up close on camera how kind of this goes. Let me see if I can stand up and show you. Okay. So when you replace this stuff, see how it's forked like that? You put that spring down in the hole right there. See where the spring is in front of my finger? You put that spring in there. You put the rod through the hinge like this. And then that fork holds the top of the needle. And then there's like this little nipple right there. Right above my thumbnail. I know it's out of focus. But that little nipple goes in the very top of the spring. In the hole of the spring. It sets there, and then there's like a slotted area. You know, you'll take notice of it when you take your carb apart. You'll see it. But I'm going to replace all that because your carb kit comes with all that new stuff. This one ain't bad. I'm just, You know, I'm already in it, so I may as well, you know, I'll reuse this stuff. Just pop it out like that. See, there ain't nothing wrong with this, but it's okay. I'll reuse it. Now, just so you don't lose this screw, just take it out. All right. Now your the diaphragm is completely gutted. There's nothing in it. Next thing to do is the jets, okay? You're gonna take the high and low jet completely out, turn them out, just like this. All right. And the springs that hold them. Don't worry about mixing them up. It's impossible to mix them up because as you'll see, they have 2 different diameters. Okay, so as you can see, the high jet is thicker. See, the high jet is a little bit thicker of a diameter than the low jet, so don't worry about mixing them up. And you can tell the tips are a little different. So there you go. Now, I'll do this off camera really quick, but I'll just show you what I'm gonna do. Take your carb outside. Hang on. There we go. Carb's completely gutted. Now, you're gonna get you some of this shit right here. Carb cleaner. And you're gonna spray this shit in every little channel that you possibly can. All down in here. All these holes, man. Spray that carb cleaner in all of that. Even give it a shot right here through that little fuel flue. And then you're gonna do the same thing here on the bottom. Except for really, you know, where that spring is, don't really matter. But here and here. And then also, too, guys, if you can, open the choke up right here. And hold that butterfly open, throttle, so you can see all the way through it. And spray all in there as well. And then what you're going to do is where you took the jets out, stick that in these jet holes. And you're going to spray the shit out of that, you know, and just get it all like that. So I'm actually going to do that really quick, and then I'll be right back.
Who's there? I see you over there. The game's up. There's poison in this pie.
Oh my god.
All right, y'all. Sorry for the little delay. Y'all have to fast forward through that. But once you get all that, you spray it all out in all those little holes and all the nooks and crannies. Next thing we're going to do, now we're going to rebuild the carb. So, first thing first, you can just wipe the edges of the needles off of the jets. Wipe them off a little bit. Pop the spring on them. And you're going to, obviously the carb's going to end up back at factory settings. So, just get them in there and screw them all the way in. Not super tight where you crack the tip of the needle, just, you know, just as far as it goes. Okay. The spring. Get that in all the way. Okay, also, really quick, I almost forgot. Now, this isn't always necessary, but sometimes it is. With your your reeds, okay? You want to make sure that these are all completely flush, all these plates. I don't know how well you can see that on camera. Let me see if I can get it to focus well. You want to make sure that it's completely flush, okay? If what I'm saying is, if you see you have reed plates that are doing this, that are like sticking up like that. See, why ain't it focusing, damn it? See what I mean? If you have any plates that are like that, all you got to do is take these out, flathead screwdriver, unscrew them, and flip them over the opposite direction, and then that'll make sure they're completely sealed. That'll allow, you know, that you want that so you make sure that there's no gas blowing back through. The gas is only supposed to go this way. If it's open here, you're going to get blowback going that way, and you don't want that, so you flip your reeds over. Now, rebuilding the carb. Back to that. On the top, all you're going to do, where that little screen was, brand new screen, you're going to pop it in the hole with your finger like this. Press it down in there. You know, I like to press it in with a little pin just to ensure it's all the way down in there. Push it down in there nice and even. Little filter screen that's going to catch any, you know, excess debris that the fuel filter misses. Okay, now you're going to take your soft gasket first. Soft gasket first, line it up on top of the carb like this, where it lines up. Then you're going to take your harder gasket, put it right over top of it the same way, just like so. And then you're going to get your top of your carb, throw this on there, just like this. If I can get it to line up. There we go. Then screw the top in. The video's running out of time. I'll have to make another one once this one runs out. Pop that in. Alright. Now you don't have to tighten it down so much that you can't take it off again, but make sure it's tight. You know, that's super, super tight. Just tighten down those screws, just like that. Alright, we're already halfway there. Alright, top of the carb is done. Now, flip it over, we're going to do diaphragm side. This is the side that gets a little weird. So, first thing you're going to do, go in here, get your hinge put together, the little hinge. Slide the little piece through the hole of the hinge, just like that. Remember, you want that nipple is supposed to go down. That little lump, that little bump is supposed to fit in the top of the spring. So you want it like that. Then you're going to take the needle that you have, this little needle. The top of that needle goes in these forks right here. Alright, this video is about to end, so in about 28 seconds. So when it does, I'm going to make another one. So stay tuned. And you're basically, that's the setup you want for the diaphragm needle. Once you have that, set that off to the side. Then you get your spring. And you put the spring down in that hole right here. And then I'll show you how to finish it in the next video.